I don't even know why I'm trying to make a top 10 list when there are only 5 good teams.
No, I'm way too comfortable in my wingtip.
Just call anonymously.
You call anonymously!
I can't. They know me. They know my voice. They'll know me. Please, you got to do it for me. I'm begging you. Please.
But I'm going to try my best. So, hello. Welcome to Week 6 Top 10 NFL Power Rankings on my channel. Even though this is really only the third week I've done this, I took a break. I'm back. And, well, there's been a lot of change on this list. And I even feel like next week, Week 7, there's going to be a bunch of change because there are 3 matchups of all the top 6 teams play each other this week. All the top 6 teams on my list play each other this week. So that should be a lot of movement. And if you want to see next week's video, make sure you subscribe and probably turn on notifications so then you know you won't miss it. And yeah, I mean, there isn't a lot of competition to get on this list. There's only 12 teams I could get on this list, but it's a top 10. So I have 2 honorable mentions going to the Buccaneers and the Jets. Both of these teams played really solid last week, but the Buccaneers I was expecting more out of, and the Jets had a 5-touchdown running attack game. It was absolutely crazy. The Dolphins really couldn't do much against them on offense when they had their third quarterback in. And while I was expecting more out of the Buccaneers offense, the defense didn't look too bad. Even though there were some controversial calls that they probably should have lost the game, they ended up bringing in the win. And that's all I got to say. Let's move into the official Week 6 Top 10 NFL Power Rankings. My number 10 team had way higher expectations on them this week. I feel like they shouldn't have been this close. It was the highest scoring game in the league last year. It was the Chargers-Browns game. Chargers ended up coming away with a W. They got a hard game next week against the Broncos, which really shouldn't be that hard, but the Broncos just play everyone so close. They got such a good defense and not such a good offense. Their offense is not very good, but their defense is very solid, and that could give the Chargers a little trouble as they're very banged up right now. I mean, I hope Keenan Allen's back next week. I drafted him in some of my fantasy leagues. I really hope he can make his way back to the team. They could really use him. Michael Williams, these wide receivers. I think Josh Palmer's extremely underrated. He's been having very good games this year. Austin Eckler's been putting in the work. I don't know when Isaiah Spiller is going to play. I feel like he could still be the best rookie running back of that draft class. But yeah, all the rookie running backs are starting to get their minutes. But we want to see what Isaiah Spiller can do. But Joshua Kelly is a great number 2 as well. I think the Chargers are a good team. I think they can win next week against the Broncos. But you're just going to have to wait till tomorrow to see what I think. Number 9, I got the Minnesota Vikings coming off a scary game against the Chicago Bears. They did take away the W, and now they have played a half of their divisional games already, beating all of them. But if you look at them, most of them were at home. So, the Vikings have been not playing very well, but they've been able to stick with it, unlike last year where these close games, they'd give into it, like the Nebraska Cornhuskers. They'd give into it at the last second and lose the game, but they played good against the Saints at the end. They played good against the Bears at the end. They clutched it up. They played really good week 1. They didn't have such a good week against the Eagles. That's why they lost. But if they keep playing the way they do, where they're just not letting the other team beat them at the end of the game, they could easily make a way to the Super Bowl. Number 8 is a team I saw a couple people skip off their list, which I feel like you can't do that anymore. I think they've won their last 2 games, or at least they've won. They've won 3 out of their last 4. The Titans. I think they've looked like a really solid team. I don't think the Commies or the Commanders are as bad as everyone thinks. So when you take an L to a bad team like the Commanders, they're not that bad. They played some really close games. They beat Jacksonville week 1, which really was a lot more of an accomplishment 2 weeks ago. But we're not going to talk about it. I think they're a good team. I think the Titans, I have been seeing a lot of people say Derrick Henry's becoming washed up. I don't even want to have to think about that. What is he, 28? He's still in the prime of his career, I think. And you saw that today against the Titans. They don't have to play a team next week. They have their bye. They need maybe sort of a couple things out. They got a little issues. The passing game, I think Ryan Tannehill is going to be able to figure this out, and we won't have to see Malik Willis for the rest of the season. We got my last team that isn't 4-1 or undefeated. We have the San Francisco 49ers. I think they're the best team. I think they're the best team in the NFC West. I said it. They've beaten the Rams. I don't think they have much more to prove that they are the front runner to win that division this year. I don't think there's not much you can say. I think the Seahawks are going to be mid. The Cardinals are going to be just above average. And the Rams, I have no idea about them, but they're not winning this division the way that they're playing right now. And Brian Skoronek's getting more pass opportunities than Allen Robinson, who was a top 10 receiver just a couple of years ago, and he's not even playing that bad. I just feel bad for A-Rob. Trade him like they traded Odell, except trade him away instead of getting traded to the team. I think they are going to have a tough game against the Falcons this week because I actually don't think the Falcons are that bad of a team. I think Arthur Smith's a really good coach. So hopefully they don't have that as a trap game for them, or you might not see them on the list next week. All right, number 6. I never thought I'd say it, but the Giants are for real. That was a heck of a game they played against the Green Bay Packers. I mean, what a second half. The defense stepped up at the second half. They didn't even need to do much. Packers weren't moving the ball. I mean, this was just a heck of a game for the Giants. I was not expecting this. I'm not going to lie. I was not expecting them to be this good. I knew they would be all right, the Giants. This year, I didn't think they were going to be that bad. I thought Saquon's going to come back. He said he was feeling more healthy than ever, and he's been the number 1 running back in the NFL, and he's close to 1,000 yards already. Well, halfway close to 1,000 yards already. This guy's being an absolute machine. We're seeing prime Saquon back, and I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if they keep up in the NFC East division title race. Well, talking about the NFC division title race, you have to bring up the Dallas Cowboys, who are in second place right now at 4-1, looking really good, and they might just have the best defense in the NFL right now. They just pretty much shut out the Rams that game, not even allowing that much, rather than a one mess up by Trayvon Diggs. But as long as he's playing pretty much lockdown, he defends a lot of passes. He's a really underrated cornerback when he's not getting toasted every other play, but he's still underrated. And Micah Parsons will win Defensive Player of the Year unless he tears his ACL or something. So it's going to be very hard for anyone to stop the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think anyone can. I have the Dallas Cowboys as the 5th best team in football right now. Number 4 is the Baltimore Ravens, only beating the Bengals by a Justin Tucker field goal at the last second. Sounds like a Ravens game for me. I mean, last year, it kind of reminded me of the Lions-Ravens game from last year, where he made the 66-yard field goal to win the game, and everyone was like, wow. Yeah, I guess all you need to do is move the ball 19 yards, and you can score points in the NFL. How about that? But yeah, they got a tough game against New York next week in New York, so I'm actually saying that Lamar's having his midseason meltdown. It looked like it started this week, and Lamar melts down like no other quarterback. But if they win, prove me wrong, and you'll move up into the top 3 teams in the NFL next week. Number 3 is the Buffalo Bills. They're 4-1. They just destroyed the Steelers by 35 points. It wasn't even close, making Kenny Pickett lose all confidence in his team, looking like Zach Wilson after throwing 2 interceptions last year against Week 2 New England Patriots, which I almost forgot who they played, but I remember they played the Patriots and Bill Belichick just outsmarted them. But we're talking about the Bills here. Why is Josh Allen playing so well? He scored 3 touchdowns in 3 minutes one game. After he got taunted, he was like, yeah, you don't want to mess with me. I'm a top 3 quarterback. Yeah, I said it myself. I think I'm up in Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers game. And then the Steelers kind of had to put him back down to life next possession after he scored the 3 touchdowns. He didn't get the first down. But whatever, 3-0 doesn't matter. After you score 3 touchdowns, you can deal with that. But all I'm saying is they have to go into Arrowhead next week. That's a place that no one wants to play right now. Chiefs have been beating on some of the best teams in the league, where the Bills have been feasting on teams that aren't going to make the playoffs. So they aren't ready for this competition, or if they are, this could be a bad game. On the receiving end of the bad game would be the Chiefs after they barely beat the Raiders that they probably shouldn't have beat. But like I said, they've been playing really good teams lately, the Chiefs. I mean, the Chargers, the Bucs. I mean, these have been some good teams. I know the Bills played the Rams, but can you even classify them as a good team right now? The Rams, I don't even know if they'd be in my top 16 if I did that. So that would mean they're in the first half of the NFL list. But the Chiefs have been beating up on good teams. Their offense just looks even better than last year. And I don't know how that's possible without Tyreek Hill, but it's all working together. Patrick Mahomes is my MVP as of now. I said it. Go Chiefs. But I'm cheering for the Bills on Sunday. And number 1, it's getting boring at this point. Eagles win over the Cardinals by 3 points. They go into Dallas next week. Hopefully Dallas can beat them so we get a new number 1. And at this point, it could be Dallas. Could be the winner of the Chiefs-Bills game. I don't know. But I hope it's anyone but the Eagles. Because Jalen Hurts has moved up in almost my top 10 maybe. He might be a top 10 quarterback right now, the way he's playing. But, yeah, I didn't even have him in my top 15. He might have already moved up 5 spots. Jalen Hurts is looking incredible. He looked better than Kyler Murray did. Kyler Murray's getting ready to play Modern Warfare. Jalen Hurts is ready to be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, and he's moving up fast. I've always believed in Jalen since his first season against that Saints game, and man, look where he is now. And that's all I got to say. The Eagles are your number 1 team in Week 6. Thanks for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. I'll be back hopefully tomorrow with my Week 6 game picks, which is going to be weird since there is some teams on a bye this week, like we learned with the Titans and Lions. And yeah, I'll have to wait to see you guys tomorrow. Peace.